Hi guys, welcome back to the Mission Empowered podcast with me, your host Emily. Today, Coach Nick is joining us as well. Woohoo!
Hello, everyone.
Hey. So we are just sort of ad hoc in this episode today, aren't we, Nick? We're just like, oh, do you know what? We haven't got time. Let's just press record. We're going to talk about we're going to talk about how our Fit and Six intake is going and things that have come up in there that we can help podcast listeners to with as well. Yeah.
Definitely.
So we were just having a little bit of chat about everything going on in the Fit and Six, and I personally think we are having a fucking fantastic first week.
It has. It's been really good. Like, I think it's been obviously when we go into the first week of Fit Six, obviously we're dead motivated. We're really excited as well, aren't we? But obviously, you kind of think like, oh God, is it going to be a lot? Like, is there going to be a lot going on and stuff like that? And although there has been, I think it's all been like a positive. Like everyone seems to be like really enjoying the experience so far, which is obviously really nice, and they're going to get so much more out of it if hopefully
And
that
I think
motivation.
and like us, I think at the beginning of when we do Fit and Six, it is great for us because obviously we're motivated the whole 6 weeks, not just week one. But like when we're motivated and everyone's on our same vibe, it's really buzzing. And I know it's hot, like not hard, but we've done so many Fit and Sixes. We know that it can get tougher to keep that motivation,
Yeah.
like towards the back end of it. But I think everyone is seeing in the first week it isn't just motivation. Like everyone is like excited, but we're just talking about Claire's post then. Like she's like in week one, she feels like that she's finally found like what works and it's clicked just with the habits. And I think we had a lot of that on check-ins, didn't we? Like I can't believe I've been doing X, Y, and Z. And in week one, I feel so much better. I've lost weight. And in week one as well, I put our results on Insta, didn't I?
Yeah,
Because it does work.
brilliant.
So I feel like this round of people doing Fit and Six, I feel like we're on a bit of a gold mine of like, actually, we know that week one is actually the hardest because you're getting all your shit together. You've got, the biggest amount of things to think about. Week two, things start to settle and you're like, right, okay, I know what I'm doing there. That worked
Yeah.
last week. This didn't work. They've had the check-in. They know what needs to focus on. So I feel like people, they're feeling that in week one. It's only going to get better. And I'm very, very, very excited for like
Oh yeah.
what we're going
I
to get
think
to at the end.
100%. Like you just said, I think the ones, and let's be honest, it's the majority of them have had a really good, solid first week.
Yeah.
Like you've just said, I think if they get out of that first week and they do feel the positivity of it and feel like things are a little bit easier than what they anticipated and stuff like that, then it definitely does set the tone for them to want to feel like that every single week,
Every
and
single
not
week.
just the Fit and Six, so beyond the Fit and Six as well.
Yeah.
Like we just been saying, weren't we, like how many posts there are like in the community page, and we're all like, yes, love this, love that, like really good, like so bubbly and positive and really like encouraging to each other as well, which we love seeing.
And we were saying like it's so nice, and this is what we say at the beginning of the Fit and Six as well. Or I do when I do the walkthrough video. I say, girls, like answer each other's posts, rally around each other, because I've just showed you a post and you were like, oh yeah, was that from like yesterday? And I was like, oh yeah, I've just, but like 7 other people have commented on it already. If
Yeah.
someone puts it in, it's so nice that everyone is rallying around each other. Like, did you see Zoe was in Mackie's, bless her, and her kids had
Yeah.
the chicken nuggets and the chips, and she was like, I'm just sitting here. And then underneath, everyone was like, oh, that was me today, because obviously it's half term. That was me. And then she's put in, I made this. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So
To be fair,
great
that was me
work on the
today.
community, pals.
That was
Wow.
100% me. Took the kids to soft play, took them to
Yeah.
McDonald's. I sat there with my bottle of water, and everyone was like, "You're not eating?" I'm like, "No, I've got my chili at home. Going home, gonna have my chili and my protein nuggets. I'm sorted."
That is some serious willpower, because I think, I don't know what it is, maybe they put crack in the aircon or something. It's the smell of Mackey's that I think is like, it's not if you're hungry. If you're not hungry, it's not that bad. Am I out of focus? There we go. I think it's if you're not hungry, I think the smell of Mackey's makes you feel sick. This is my opinion anyway. I'm a bit like that because things smell squeeze. If you're hungry or
Yeah.
hungover, the smell of Mackey's, it's like crack. It's
I
like,
know, but you
oh,
don't actually enjoy it when you're hungover, though, do you? The anticipation of it's like, oh yeah, I definitely want it, and then you eat it and you're like, nah,
hey, I'll be
didn't
honest.
didn't hit the spot.
I will be honest. I don't think I've had a Mackey's genuine 3 years.
Wow. That is willpower. That is
No, it's
good.
not. I just don't like. Honestly just don't enjoy it. Do you know what it is? I think I've watched a program somewhere, and it was about like how they make the stuff. Yeah, have you
Uh,
ever done that? Have you ever done
yes,
that where you've watched
yes.
something and then you can't unsee it? Do you remember when that viral KFC post went round and it was all the chickens with like no heads
Oh,
and
I've honest to God, like I've not at KFC for about probably
oh,
since we were in like college, since I was about like
bad, isn't it?
17, 18. I've not at KFC for like 20 years.
Yeah,
And my Jay like absolutely loves a KFC, and I'm like, no, just like the thought of what it could be, like it
yeah,
freaks me out ever since, and that's
yeah,
what it is. Ever since seeing that post years and years ago, I just won't touch
yeah.
it. I just can't.
Yeah, so like things like that. And I remember one of my favourite foods used to be hot dogs, frankfurters. Remember
Oh, like the tinned ones.
tinned ones, all the ones that came in the plastic packet. And when I say used to love, I mean when I was about 14, not like recently. And someone told me they have mashed up pig's eyes in, and I've never been able to eat
Shut.
them since. Yeah.
I've not heard that one.
My mum used to make them. She'll kill me downstairs. She'll come up. No, I never. She did. My mum used to make
Oh, no
them
way.
on bonfire night. We used to
Oh,
have
yeah.
them because you used to boil them. Yeah, boil them in like a board, and they were my favourite food ever. And then someone told me that they had mashed up pig's eyes in.
I've never
I
been a
mean, it
fan of like
surely
hot
can't
dog
be
sausages
true.
like that. I like a normal sausage in like a hot dog, but I'm not really an
A
actual
frankfurter.
hot dog person, yeah.
I don't really like sausages. Right, we've just talked about food, nothing to do
Not
with the fit and
sausages
six.
for like
We
10
talked about food,
minutes.
what we don't like. So what we were gonna do, wait, is just touch on things that came up in week one, fit and six that we were like, right, what can we talk about that might help someone who's just listening and maybe isn't in the fit and six and whatever, or maybe they are in the fit and six and they're just gonna re-listen. So
Yeah.
but then we didn't really specify what we were gonna say.
And
We
to
were
be
just like,
fair,
let's
I
just
feel like
say.
this is like a reoccurring thing now. You're like, let's do a podcast, and we're not going to tell you what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna press go. Okay, so let's talk. Well, I've got one written down which might help people because everyone I think always struggles with protein, don't they?
Yeah.
So, couple of tips that we said this week. Well, first of all, I'll do like a bit of a not a fact, but a sort of how you measure your protein. So, one of the things that we said to the girls in Fit and Six is that when we track our calories, we do this over a week. We look at energy intake over the 7 days because how you expend energy you can do over a weekly period.
Mhm.
Okay. You can't do that with protein. Your protein goal, you that doesn't work. Like you add it up, divide it by 7, and you work out an average for the day. You have 24 hours to hit your protein goal. Because of the science behind it. Now it turned into a sciencey one. I'll quickly just say what I said on the podcast. So
Yeah.
the reason that we're hitting protein in fat loss is definitely so it fills us up and balances our blood sugar, but it's also to promote something called protein synthesis. Now, protein synthesis is the turnover of muscle breakdown. So it's where your muscles break down and repair, and eventually this then gives us that leaner toned look. And two things that stimulate it, it's weight training and hitting over about 30 grams of protein in one intake. So that's why you can't on one day eat 50 grams of protein and on the next day eat 240 grams and be like, yeah, same, because it's the average. You want to be hitting between 30 and 50 grams of protein every main meal. So you're getting that stimulus response 3 times a day. So what does that work out? That works out between like 90 and 150 grams of protein. Now, we on the Fit and Six give you individual targets. So it's different depending on like your body weight and all stuff like that. That's why everyone's protein targets are different and calorie intake. But if you just think you want to be hitting that minimum 30 grams of protein per main meal to not only feel full, balance your blood sugar cravings, all of that, balance your blood sugar, balance your cravings, but also protein synthesis. We're all after that toned, strong look, and that's going to stimulate it.
Yeah. Plus, just to like obviously recap on what we said as well in Fit and
Yeah.
Six, like that's like the target that we give you is a minimum. No
Mm-hmm.
one's saying like you know, say we give you 110 grams, that's all you're allowed. That's it, the only amount of protein you're allowed to have a day. It is a minimum
Yeah.
guide, and if you eat over that, then you know you're going to feel the benefit even more from it as well.
Yeah. And if you're
Excuse me.
listening and thinking, what is my protein target? I would always say with protein, you've got, do it in stages. So if you are just starting out tracking calories and tracking protein, just go for 100 grams. Just try and achieve 100
Mm-hmm.
grams and just see how you get on. Then, after you started doing that, if you want to get a bit more specific, aim for like 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. I'll just do some fast math for you, a little calculator on the podcast. So let's say you're a 150-pound female. So your range is going to be 120 up to 180. That's a lot of protein, but actually it's quite easily done. Do you know, Nick, I was eating too much protein. So after the baby, when I was going into fat loss, I wasn't tracking. I didn't go straight back into tracking because obviously I was looking after another human. I was just like, right, I'm going to just aim for high protein meals, and if I want a snack, like I'm gonna just try and get like protein snacking. And then anyway, January, when I was like, right, I'm gonna knuckle down now, I'm sorting my shit out, I tracked what I was having, and I was having about like near 200 grams of protein. Isn't that mad? Because I was
It's
so
mad.
like protein,
Yeah,
but
it's
yeah,
mad, but then look how easily you've been able to
yeah,
hit that without even realizing that you were
yeah,
doing it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it
yeah,
just goes to
yeah,
show, like, you can do it. Like,
yeah.
it is
Oh yeah, it is
100%
doable.
doable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But also, as well, I was having 200 grams of protein. I wasn't actually, I was just like, this is where, like, because I was, healthy eating. I'm a coach. I've been a coach for years. It just goes to show I wasn't tracking, and I wasn't in as
yeah,
big as a deficit as what I thought I was in, because I was like, right, let's just work out. And I went, so even though it was like the good stuff and it was the protein, I was still in, like, I was probably eating I was eating a maintenance because I was staying the same.
yeah.
And then as soon as I pulled some of my protein down, because literally my whole fucking diet was protein, I just like started like I swapped. So I was having 35 grams of protein. So I've took that down to like 28, my breakfast. And then I was having a protein yogurt, but I've changed that to a couple of boiled eggs. So less calories, a little bit less
Mm.
protein. And yeah, just tweak things. But it just goes to show, if you're healthy eating but not tracking, you're probably not eating in a deficit.
Yeah, and this is where like, obviously, I think a big thing as well for those who have mentioned, not just on Fit and Six, but clients as well, and people who reach out and ask for like advice and stuff. Like, if tracking is obviously a massive part of it, and I think that a lot of my clients will have heard this week,
Yeah.
like on the check-ins, like, make sure you are practically tracking,
Yeah.
not just so obviously you're hitting your protein target, but more so because if you're practically tracking, you can meal prep, and meal prepping is 100% going to be a game
Yeah,
changer when
yeah,
it
yeah,
comes to
yeah,
hitting your
yeah.
protein target. And I think that's where a lot of people do fall short. Like, they convince themselves that they haven't got 30 minutes or an hour, like, to just like meal prep something or do something.
Babe, my
Um,
lunch meal prep takes me 3 minutes. I am
mm,
not joking. 5 minutes, and I am not lying. It is chicken out the plastic in the slow cooker. I
mm,
chop a red pepper, chop an onion, chop some celery, spices, tin of tomatoes in. That's it. Goes on
yeah.
overnight. But
To be honest, I do mine when I'm doing other stuff. So if I'm cooking like the kids' tea, or I'm cooking,
yeah,
like, do you know what I mean? Like, I just think, like, well, do you know what, I'm cooking anyway, so let's just do another pan on the side. Like, I posted on my story the other day about making a chili. Well, I was making mince for Jay and the baby, so I was like, well, there's a half pack of mince there. Let's
yeah,
just make
yeah,
something with it. So it literally took me, like, it was all in a pan, just left it for like an hour, and then the next minute it was ready in a tub, done.
yeah. Done.
So easy.
I just think now, what I do feel like, once you meal prep, you don't, if it's very hard to not to go back to not meal
Oh,
prepping, because you were like, how the fuck did I have time to sit
I
and make
know,
a lunch
I
every
know.
day? Like,
Mine's me breakfast.
yeah,
Like, if I don't meet, and there will be an occasion, obviously I am human, there is an
yeah,
occasion where I get up one morning and go, oh my god, I
yeah,
haven't got any
yeah,
breakfast left. Like,
yeah,
and a
yeah,
panic,
yeah.
I go, what am I going to
What am
do?
I
What am I
gonna
going to eat? Because I eat the same breakfast every day, even over weekends. I'm like, what am I going to
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm the
do?
same. Like, sometimes when we do our shop, we'll get to like Saturday, Sunday. I've just been and bought my mum some milk actually, so we won't run out. But like, we buy a big thing of milk on a Sunday. Normally does us, and I get to like Sunday and I've got no milk, and I have protein shake every day.
You're
I'm
like,
like,
God.
well, now what am I gonna do? I've got no milk.
It's
What am I
like the
gonna
end
do
of the
now?
rail.
Yeah,
Mine's me Greek yogurt. If I open the
yeah,
fridge and there's no Greek yogurt, I'm like, what's happened? Like,
yeah, I know. Do your kids eat your yogurt?
So they will eat my like protein yogurts, like the packet ones that I buy.
Yeah,
Like Carter
yeah.
likes them. He's actually just had one with me. I had a blueberry one and he had a raspberry one before. So
Oh,
he'll sit and have them with me, but he won't eat like my overnight oats. Even though he loves porridge, he won't eat my overnight oats. But I think he would actually like them if he tried them.
yeah. Do you think it's because it's cold and he likes it hot?
Probably, yeah, because I get him like the little instant, like the
Hot.
little hot
Yeah,
things
yeah,
like
yeah,
that, and
yeah,
like he'll
yeah,
sit
yeah.
and eat a whole one of them for his breakfast. And but yeah, he looks at me and he goes, "That's disgusting, mummy. Mummy, everything mummy
Why?
eats is
Why do you buy
disgusting."
the? Why do you buy in the pots? Why don't you just make the porridge?
Just because to be honest, it's just time consuming because he won't always have it. Sometimes he will, sometimes he won't. He goes through
Okay.
phases and they're just handy. Like he's a very, very fussy eater, so I like
He
to have
likes
them
it.
in. So if he literally won't entertain anything for his lunch or his tea,
He'll eat
I
that.
think at least if he has a porridge pot, it's like something substantial on his tummy, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
I used to hate porridge when I was little, man. I used to
Oh,
get
I did. I used to like ready breath, but that's
yeah.
like
Oh
part.
my
It's like
god, so I
not
used to
enough.
hate ready brack. I think I got like PTSD from it.
I
Unless
wouldn't
it
eat it
had,
now.
unless it no, and this is like obviously going to just like what's a word? Not deceiving the point. What's a word I'm saying?
Don't know.
Fingering the point. What's that saying? Oh, not deceiving the point. Further the point.
I
Defeating.
don't
Fucking
know.
defeating the point. Right.
Mm.
Fucking deceiving. That's my mum brain. So defeating the point, I used to put on my ready break. I kid you not, probably half a packet of chocolate chips and honey.
Mine was
Like
jam, strawberry jam.
chocolate and honey. And it had to be covered. So every mouthful had something, some form of sugar on. Bless little Em. Right. What we went off on a tangent then. Calories, tracking calories,
Yeah,
protein. We said
we
eating
said food
protein.
prepping, sorted that.
Oh, that was it. We were talking about meal prep. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I just think you'll never go. What I think in your head, and again, I will absolutely own up. This used to be me. Meal prepping seems like such a big task before you do it, and if you've never done it,
yeah,
you do meal prep one time and just go. Do you know what? I'm just going to commit and just see how I get on. You will be like, wow, wow,
game
like
changer.
that just saved me so much time in the week because all I do now, meal prep out the fridge, 300 grams, microwave. That's my. I
Yeah,
have a gorgeous chicken, bean, tomato stew
I've
every
seen it.
day
It
for my
looks lovely.
lunch. Yeah,
To be fair as well, I think like obviously speaking as like from a mum point of view as well, just
yeah,
said I've got two really fussy children who like I struggle to eat like actual food, you know what I mean?
yeah,
So for me it's a bit like it's one less meal at that time that I need to like get like decide what I'm having because I can
yeah,
focus on them and mine's there ready
yeah,
to
yeah,
just go,
yeah, yeah,
especially in the
yeah.
morning when they can't decide what they want for breakfast out of the whole 10 boxes of cereal that we have on offer in the cupboard for them. It's like, do you know what? I'm having mine. Mine's here.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, you're
ready.
just
Just sort
ready.
yourself out.
I thought the kids would love overnight oats because they're like sweet and fruity and stuff, aren't they?
No, they're
But
just, they're not the best with food at all, mate.
why do you think that is?
Um, to be fair, their dad's very like fussy. He was as
Right.
well when he was younger. Like he doesn't eat no veg, no fruit, no nothing like that. So whether it's like a hereditary thing, I've got no
Oh,
idea. If I
yeah,
hide it in things, they'll eat
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Whereas, to be fair, well, both the kids will, if they're in the mood, they'll eat fruit. Like they would
yeah,
sit and eat a whole like two punnets of fruit in one
yeah,
go
yeah,
if like
yeah.
they're in the mood. But then other days they'll be like not even interested and don't want to eat it. But they just won't. They won't try nothing. Like mint is the only source of protein apart from yogurts that I can get Carter to eat. He
No
won't eat
chicken,
nothing. He won't eat chicken. He won't
chicken
entertain fish.
sausages,
Like nothing, nothing at
fish
all. He
fingers.
just no.
I love fish fingers.
He won't even like. He just won't even try. He looks at it. He just won't even like put it in his mouth to like try it, which is quite frustrating.
Yeah.
So I do like he's constantly. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm hungry because obviously he's just eating
Oh,
like
Carter's got.
empty calories all the
Yeah,
time. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
You
But
know, there was a program. I can't remember what it was. Can't remember. There was a program though on the science of like fussy kids and why,
mm,
because it
I
was
think I
basically
seen that.
yeah, it was, and they were talking like, and it was quite sad because I think everyone thinks like if the kids are fussy, like they like blame the parents, but it wasn't. There was like something like kids can actually be like really scared of trying new foods and can be like make them like
It
really
is.
upset. And it's not that you just need to be like, try it. Like they said, like always offer it, because there might be
Yeah.
one day where they just go, okay. But like it was saying, it was just like the science behind like kids' fear of foods and
It
textures and
is. It's really
food.
hard, and like
Yeah,
I know, hand on heart, like as a mum, like obviously I felt like that sometimes. You've just literally just been like, do you know what, just give them something to eat. So,
something.
and like at
Yeah,
that time, it is really hard. But I also know, like I've never really beat myself up about what they eat, because I think I have always tried. I've always offered. Like I bought those little plates, you know, where it's like all like little
yes, yeah,
sections and
yeah,
stuff. And I
yeah,
think if it's not touching each other, but it's like a tiny amount of something on the
yeah,
plate, then you know one time they might just pick it up and go,
yeah.
oh, you know what, I fancy that. So I always make sure that I offer a bit of
A little
something
bit
on
of
their plate.
something.
And if they don't eat it, they don't eat it. But if they do,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, at least I know for my peace of mind that I have tried.
Have you tried?
So
That was one of the tricks that they did on the on the TV. I thought it was a bit tight, really, but they basically got this kid who wouldn't eat anything, blah 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 blah, and the mum I think gave him an apple, and they said, and the kid was like, "Don't like apple," and the mum was like, "Yes, you do. You had apple last week and you liked it." And the kid was like, "I didn't," and the mum was like, yeah, "Remember when we went to Nanny's?" The kid was like, "Yeah," and you had it. That's where you had the apple. And anyway, they got the kid to eat the fucking apple from
oh
lying to
god,
him. Anyway, he ate
it's
the
all
apple and he was,
psychological, isn't
yeah,
it?
and he was like, "Oh yeah, I remember now."
Poor
Never,
kids.
never had apple before, I know, but then they got him to eat it that way, and then he was like, he liked it. But anyway, shouldn't really build your relationship with kids on lying, should you? Deception. Right, we've gone off again. So we've talked about calories, meal prepping, protein, children. Can't do the average. Shall we talk? Oh, I know what I wanted to touch on, Nick.
Mhm.
When we were talking about motivation in the gym. So I think it's quite applicable now. Both me and you are prepping for our photo shoot, our little team empowered photo shoot, aren't
Yes.
we? You look insane. I'm just gonna do it and see what I look like. I'll be 7 months postpartum. November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Yeah, 7 months
Yeah.
postpartum when we do the shoot. So I'm not putting pressure on myself to look a certain way. I know I'm training really hard. I'm doing my food. So whatever I look like, I'm going to try really hard to be proud of. And then I'm just not going to stand next to you.
You should be shut up. You should be proud though. I think you look amazing. Like I think because you trained throughout, obviously everyone knows you trained for your
Yeah.
pregnancy. Like even the photograph, the comparison one you put on Instagram the other
Lovely one.
day, you can see oh hello. You can see the definition in your muscles that are obviously
Yeah.
still there. That I think
Yeah.
a lot of women who obviously don't understand about training through pregnancy, who
Yeah.
may have trained like previously, will obviously lose that like tone and that definition
Yeah.
to their muscles as well. So I think you look brilliant.
Thanks, babe.
I definitely didn't look like that when I was like 4 months
It's just,
postpartum after
I
having
think
my kids.
it's just hard, like, because obviously every shoot that I've ever done before is like, I've looked a certain way, and I'm definitely not. I have to really have a conversation with myself. Like, you fucking grew and birthed a human. Like,
Exactly.
it's a different body that you're in now. So let's just. My aim is to like not focus backwards, but is to focus on like a new me. I just don't know what that looks like
Yeah.
yet, and that's
And
like
you
the
know
most
what?
difficult.
I think we had a conversation about this when me and you decided to do the shoot as well. We said it's going to be more like a body confidence
Yeah,
thing. And do you know what I mean? It's not like us saying, "Oh, we go to the gym." Like, look how. Do
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? It's not about that, is it? Because I think as well, like what we do is, although we coach women with health and fitness and nutrition and all of the and like mindset and everything, like everyone's journey is different and everyone's
mm,
goals are different. So I think it's nice to see, you know, you've had a baby. This is what you
yeah,
look with training and eating good
yeah, yeah,
nutritious
yeah.
food
This is what I
7 months
look like
after
now.
having a baby. Like some people are gonna look at that and be like, wow, like that is
Yeah,
my goal to be like that. And
yeah.
I think it's very empowering to do that as well.
Brilliant. That's nice of you. Thank you. But you look insane. So obviously this you did shoot last August and this is your second one now. So what's your God, this is not what we're meant to be talking about. We'll talk about it in a minute then. What is your aim for this shoot compared to the last shoot?
Do you know what?
We spoke about this, so let's do it now.
I don't know. I think my aim is like it's like I just said, I just want to feel really confident in my own skin. Like
Mm-hmm.
I know, like I mean, to be fair, my upper body, I'm quite proud of it because obviously I only trained upper body for the last six
Oh
months
yeah, because you had an
because
injury.
I literally got an injury, didn't I? Like 2 weeks
Yeah,
before the photo shoot last time. So I think my goal as well is to try and see like what I can achieve now that I'm training lower body again and see like the difference in the whole of my physique rather than just like my upper
Yeah,
physique as well. But yeah, I think for me it is just kind of like I just want to feel confident and I want to feel like
I've just
I'm
got a
proud.
feeling.
Just proud to like look in the mirror. Do
I love
you know what
this
I mean?
reel. Yeah, yeah, definitely. You look amazing, Gorge. Woohoo.
I mean,
Um,
let's give a shout out to ribbed high waist leggings though as well, please, because
mate, I was thinking the other day about outfit, and I was like, I'm gonna get one of them long sleeve, a long sleeve crop and high waisted black pants, and I'll be like sorted. But yeah, it's fine. I mean, the last photo shoot, I was like, what, 8 months pregnant, wasn't I, in
yeah,
August? Yeah, so at least it won't look like that again. I was trying to find a photo of me and you to put on some sort of like
before and after.
no, not a before and after. It was on a piece of content or something. I wanted a photo of me and you both with our like empowered stuff on, and the only one I had was like me with a big pregnant belly, and I was like, right, well, thank God we'll get some more of them then in May. We'll get some new ones of them where I don't look like that. So motivation then. Motivation came up in the fit and six of people saying, how do you get to the gym like when you're tired, or you
Mhm.
know, when you've had like a bad night's sleep, like where do you find the motivation? And we basically said like, you don't, like, you just, and that's, I actually put on my Instagram the other day at the baby woke up at 3 a.m, so I was up in bed, we just stayed in bed, but I was up from 3 till I got up, which was like 5:30, 5:45. Like I was awake, so I had to drag myself out of bed, like full on have an argument with myself to get out of bed. Then I had to full on have an argument with myself to get out the car to go to the gym, and then a full on argument on every exercise I did in the gym to do the next one. Honestly, I did. I literally would love to see me. This is my new finish deadlifts. I was like deadlifts, and I was like, fucking shit, like that. Yeah,
Yeah, but you went. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. And do you
It's
want to know
very
something?
much like I think we're both very transparent in saying like, you know, nobody is motivated 100% of the time. Like we're the
Yeah,
same. We're both coaches. We're not motivated. Like you've just
yeah.
openly said, like, you know, and I do it. I drive to the gym and I will sit there in the car for a good 3 to 5 minutes thinking, really?
I'm
Like, come
so
on. And then, but
sorry.
once you're in there, you're so glad that you went. And I
Mate,
think
yeah,
I would just like kind of, when people say to you, where do you find the motivation to work out, or where do you find the motivation to the gym? In my mindset at the moment, I'm just a bit like, well, where do you find the motivation to get up and go to work? Where do you
yeah,
find the motivation to be a mum? Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? If you've
Get
had no
get
sleep
on with
that
it.
night,
Yeah,
you've
yeah,
still
yeah,
got to get up and be a mum the next
yeah, yeah,
day.
yeah.
So
And do you
you
know
know
what
what I
it
mean?
is?
It's like it's one of them things, isn't it?
It's removing 100% removing the option. So one of the things that I always say is that if you don't give yourself an option of I can stay in bed or I
Yeah.
can get up. Like, so for me, how I do it is I think of the end goal of like where I want to be. Yeah. And I know for me, I want to be toned, strong, fit, fast, and I want to lose a little bit of body fat.
Hmm.
It then comes down to what do I need to do that? Well, I need to eat well. I need to be in a calorie deficit. I need to train. I need to do my steps. So when I come up against I don't want to go out for a walk, or I love going out for a walk, but anyway, I don't want to do my steps, or I don't want to go to the gym, I then replace that I don't want to do the gym with I don't want to get to my end goal. And I'm
Yeah,
like, yeah, but I do. Well, if I know that, be going to the gym has to be part of that. So I think what
exactly.
it is don't see them gym steps, or I don't want to track my food, I just want to get a fucking takeaway. Like in your head, that's an insignificant. So how much difference does it make? Replace it with the goal. That's how much difference it makes, because
Yeah,
all of them little things that you say, I'm not doing, or you are doing, they all stack up. Every single one of them stacks up. And for me, that's why it is never I can, lose my shit and moan about it, and I let myself do that because it's an
yeah,
outlet, but it's never an option. It's never
yeah.
am I getting up? It's I don't fucking want to get up. I'm getting up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's that line, I think. It's crossing that line of where motivation becomes discipline. And
Yeah.
it's like, and like you said, even on the worst days, like obviously, like I've recently been not well. I took two
Yeah.
weeks off going to the gym. One, because physically couldn't the first week, and the
Yeah.
second week just wasn't ready. Listen to my body. So this week, you know, it's half term. My whole routine is upside down. So I've said, I haven't trained early morning since like 6 months ago before I
Yeah.
done my ankle in. So for me, it was like, well, I've got to make this decision now. If I do not get up at 5:30 and be at the gym for 6
You're not
before and then
going.
back before my husband
Yeah.
goes to work, I'm not going to the gym because I've
Yeah.
got no other time to
Yeah.
go. So, and to be fair, I've actually really loved getting back into that
Yeah,
routine this week. I've been tired, don't get me wrong, but I think, do you know what? I'm up, I'm done, I'm still motivated. It's motivating me more because I think, like you just said, I know what my end goals want to be. I've got a photo
yeah.
shoot in 11 weeks. Like, I don't want to get to that photo shoot and say, why didn't I go to the gym that week? And
100%.
like, and beat myself up about it. So,
So yeah,
same with everything, isn't it? It's like a holiday. You know, you want to go on holiday, but you don't go to work. How are you paying to go on the
and go on
holiday?
holiday,
You've got to get up
exactly.
and just get it done.
Exactly. And like when we're talking about, so basically none of us are ever fucking motivated. But
No.
I mean, you will have them days where you do have a good night's sleep and you're like, oh, I'm really excited to go and do
Yeah.
the session. Just very rare. But anyway, so you do have motivation, but that's why you can't rely on it. And one thing I will say about discipline, like discipline again, isn't something that you are, it's something you become
Mm-hmm.
by stacking up them. I don't want to do it. I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. And then
Yeah.
something else will come up. I really want to eat that cake instead of my tea, but I won't. Well, that's another thing. And then
Yeah.
eventually, all of them situations that you say no to or you make yourself do, that will stack up and you will become disciplined. You don't just have discipline, like
Yeah.
you it is earned, and it is like a badge each time you do it. Like, when you used to get your swimming badges or your brownie badges, like
It is. And do
yeah,
you know what you say in that, It's literally what we implement in the Fit and Six as well, isn't it? Like, we talk about healthy habits, we talk about stacking them on top of each other. They
yeah,
become non-negotiables. You get a solid
yeah,
routine. Routine builds discipline. It literally like all unfolds like one after the other. And it's how
exactly.
like your consistency. And a lot of people will get that in check-ins as well.
Yeah,
It is the
100%.
consistency of pushing through and being like, what do I want? How am I going to get it? Like, I need to keep going.
Exactly. And well, yeah, I haven't really got anything else to add on that. It is true. I
There's a
think,
lot of like Gordon Ramsay, like you
yeah,
will
yeah,
go to
yeah.
the gym.
I think like just on that, from a like not playing devil's advocate, but coming at it from maybe someone who's listening who isn't in the fit and six, who really wants to start their journey, or it, it can be overwhelming to hear that, because we are talking about like the long game and you have got to show up day in day out, but
Mhm.
putting it off is only like that is never going to change. Like, you are never going to be able to fucking buy discipline on Amazon Prime. Like, you are never going to get it dropped off the same day delivery. Yeah, it's the same like with any health and fitness goals. It is all about the input of time, and nothing's ever going to change. And although you have got to play the long game, like putting it off and not starting is only prolonging it. Whereas now, if you start and think, right, well, actually, today's my day one, like, and then build on that. Like, you just have to play the long game. There's no shortcuts to it. Like, for me, being postpartum, yes, I've booked a photo shoot for 6 months, but I'll probably do another one around about a year postpartum, because that's when I've given myself like my goals for 2025. I'm like, right, they're all like set for the end of the year. So like 5 strict pull-ups, 10 strict dips. What else have I put on there? Run a 10K. I'm fit and strong. Like, but I know for me, they are like, I want to be able
Long
to
term.
reflect December 31st, 2025, and feel that, not bloody June. Well, I'm
Yeah.
doing a 10K in April, but you know, uh, but do you know what I mean? Like, I am not stressed about the timeline, because I know I've given myself, like, I know how long it takes. And I think that's the problem, isn't it? Is that so many people want results the same,
You
like
want a
that they
quick
want.
fix, and it is. And I think
Yeah,
me and you are both very transparent when we do have clients or we
very
do have calls with
transparent.
people and say, like, we're not going to put a time limit on this because there
Yeah,
is no time frame for
yeah,
individual people,
yeah.
individual goals. Like everyone, and I say it a lot to my clients, everyone's journey is different. It
Different.
could
Yeah,
take someone 6 months,
yeah.
12 months,
1 month.
18 months, like
Yeah,
2 years.
yeah,
Like it just honestly depends on like what your goals are, how
yeah,
easy you find it to build a consistent routine. Like,
yeah.
but at the end of the day, it's the fact that you've stepped up, you're putting the work in,
Yeah,
and I always say, like, it's putting yourself at the top as well, because we're so guilty. I think a lot of us as women as well, because, we're wives, we're mums, like, we're partners, like, do you know what I mean? Like, we're so guilty of putting everything else before ourselves
mhm,
that I think when it comes down to your health and your fitness, you should be putting yourself at the top and just
mhm.
making those nice changes, like, gradually until you're in a really solid routine where you know you're going to feel the best you want to feel and get the results
Yeah,
that you want to get.
And I feel like as well, just while you were saying that, I was thinking of like an analogy in my head. I think it's a sign that I'm tired, Nick, to be honest with you. But I was thinking, women, maybe we'll finish on this because we have been talking for 35 minutes. Women are like watering cans. that we
I'm like, where's she going with this?
that we are the watering can that pour onto everything. Yeah. But
Yeah.
what has to be full for everything else to be watered? The watering can has to be full. It can't be empty. Do you know what I'm
That's
saying?
true. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I do. I know. I do.
That's fine.
I do know what you're saying.
So that was I don't remember, my head just dwindled then, but like that was what I was thinking, is that we are like watering cans. We need to be full, like you were saying, put yourself under the tap first before I sound drunk, before you put yourself under the tap first before you then pour it out. Like that's what you need to do, isn't it?
You need to fill your watering can up.
Okay.
No, I do get it. I get what you mean.
Yeah,
And all I can think about is like all the little holes are like different aspects, aren't they? Like one hole's like
you can't pour for an empty cup, like. But that I get that, but watering can is so much better because a watering can waters so many things. You can't water from an empty watering can, right?
and that's what you should call the podcast.
Well, there we go. I'm sure I will just say, by the way, I've had 2 people message me this week, which this will make you laugh. Laura, I won't say her second name. Laura messaged me and was like, "Oh, I'm just in the gym, and I just listened to your birth story, and I was thinking, what a depressing fucking podcast to listen to. Why are you doing your weight?" And then someone else messaged me saying, I just did a podcast on the Skinny Pen, didn't I? Your Skinny Pen podcast has just got me through an 11K run. I was thinking, my voice on an 11K run, you poor sod. Like, yeah. So anyway,
That's a
people just like
compliment now.
listening. People just like listening. Yeah.
Your voice and your analogies are literally motivating the female population.
Come on. Right, guys, thanks for listening. Nick, thanks for coming on. We're definitely going to do another one where we'll cover more important stuff. Not just what Nikki's kids like to eat and my shit analogies. But guys, if you did enjoy this podcast, please drop me and Nick a message on Instagram. I am at _em.powered. Nick is
Nick_team_m.powered. God, I can't speak.
_watering can. Right, thank you. Love you. Bye.
Bye.